All right, what is up? Been a minute since I've done these again, falling off the wagon, but been busy. Been training, Leadville training, lots of exciting things happening there. Getting on the bike 3 or 4 times a week, um, having fun with that. Got hooked up with a sweet new ride thanks to Bike and Trike, Jason. The Bike and Trike, if you guys are local to Rock Springs or Sweetwater County, you should go check him out. He's got lots of bikes in stock, and really is a really good bike. Place to get a bike. So he'll take care of you. But yeah, that's about it. Really, it's been consuming me. Just trying to make sure I'm prepared for that the best I can be. So something came up recently. Just kind of fill you guys in. So a couple things are on my mind this morning, and one of them is I just read this article that got posted, but last weekend I took myself and Riley, one of our coaches, we went to Denver to this CrossFit affiliate summit and kind of got to listen to some of the upper management of CrossFit, and I don't know everyone's official title, but just people that know what's going on at a higher level, and CrossFit headquarters, HQ, whatever you want to say, CrossFit HQs, maybe broader spectrum plans. What are they prioritizing the most? What's their priorities? What are they worried about as far as growing the brand, protecting the brand? How are they going to take care of affiliates, affiliate owners, and continue to move the needle in the right direction to help us grow our businesses, to help us be successful, to help more people get into CrossFit, all those things. And it was good. It was good. But I kind of knew going into that, and I had an idea what they were going to say. I try to follow up or try to listen to the stuff they've been telling us and posting about. But what I will say is they're good speakers, and that's why those people are there for a reason. It always refers back to my level one. It's probably the first time I ever really heard a coach speak and teach so eloquently, right? They were so good at talking. They're so good at explaining things and doing it in a way that was entertaining, engaging, right? And it kind of like sucks you in, and you're like, wow, it's like whatever you tell me, I will do, right? And they kind of joked about that because they had a coaching talk, and one of the girls that was coaching, her name's Denise Thomas, and they're like, yeah, like Denise is so good at coaching and speaking. Like she tells you to run through a wall, you're going to run through a wall, right? Well, most of the people that have come from a CrossFit background and have been there for a long time, I'm not necessarily going to talk about the newer additions, but a lot of those people have been there for quite a while. If they've been on seminar staff at any point, they're probably damn good at talking, and they're really good at getting you to buy in and believe. So I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff they said is good. It gives an affiliate owner some confidence on what they're trying to do. I just hope it continues to move in the right direction. I think right now they're on a good track, but it takes time. Time will tell. Try not to make any sudden or rash decisions around that. But it was good. We also got to talk about, some business practices and some coaching things. But yeah, this article this morning that I was reading, and I'm kind of putting this out there to you guys. When I got into CrossFit, the CrossFit slogan, it said CrossFit, and then it said forging elite fitness. And that's all it really said. And this guy on this article brought up how he thinks they should go back to that slogan because they kind of have maybe left saying that. Now, I think they still probably own the rights and all that stuff to it, but they don't really use it anymore. At least not publicly in their advertising and stuff like that, in their marketing material. And he talks about how he thinks that they maybe are getting away from it due to the fact that the words of it are potentially off-putting for people that are intimidated by CrossFit, for lack of a better term. They see the word elite and they think that means like the CrossFit Games or some stuff like that, right? Which I get that. I would say in some capacity, yeah, it does come off a little intense. Forging elite fitness. But, one of the things that's happened over the years is, I don't know when this started, but there has been a shift in the way they word things and the way they communicate things. And rightfully so. I've done the same thing in some capacity. Right? I want to get as many people doing CrossFit as possible. And if they're intimidated to try it, it's going to be harder, right? So I see from CrossFit's perspective why that maybe is off-putting for some people, and they need to try to find some more friendly language. But in the same capacity, I still kind of started CrossFit in the era of doing hard things is what made it so appealing. At least for myself. But I think that's the way it was for most people, right? They kind of get hooked on it because it's hard. And whether you do good or bad at it, you leave the gym knowing that you accomplished something hard. And I also want to be clear about, I don't mean it was hard like every day was like these crazy difficult movements or something. It was more just, it's challenging. It made you feel accomplished because you did something hard. It's just like finishing like your first 5K. You do your first 5K, it's probably hard, right? But you did something outside of your comfort zone. You do your first Spartan race, it's hard. It's outside your comfort zone. You do it, you feel accomplished. This Leadville 100 I'm going to do, it's going to be hard. Is riding a bike that hard? No, most people can ride a bike. Now, can they ride a bike for that distance at that elevation and that stuff? No, maybe not. But again, what I'm talking about is the challenge that you overcame is what maybe became so addicting for people. And it was known for being hard. And like it or not, one of the things that made the community special and made you go, oh, you're a CrossFitter? Oh, sweet, I'm a CrossFitter too. Is like, you kind of know what they're about. You know, they're not afraid to back down from hard work. You know, they're going to push themselves to get to some very uncomfortable places, regardless of their fitness level. Like, you kind of knew that about a CrossFitter. And I think that's kind of what made that bond, if you will, and created the communities that were so strong, is because you're suffering together and you have like-minded individuals that are willing to suffer next to you. And I think this guy explains it well, is there's definitely, like, when you hear the word elite, right? That's like the top 1% is kind of what you think of, like. But the way he explains it, as far as how that community was, is pretty good. So let me try to find this real quick and I can read it for you. So he says, if anything, these new slogans, they lower the bar, which could dilute the community driven culture that they're advertising and move us further away from our original mission of forging elite fitness. So I do think in some ways, like, this is not an appropriate word, but the pussification of CrossFit, right, is something that people have talked about. And I don't think that's what we want, right? We still want people to do hard things, be proud of the hard work that they put in. We don't want to make it something it's not. We don't want to make this F45. We don't want to make this Orange Theory. Those things are watered down knockoffs of CrossFit, to be honest. They're worse CrossFit. But They get people moving, they have their place, but ultimately everyone that does CrossFit and believes in CrossFit knows that is a watered down, not as potent version of CrossFit. And he says, when we said forging elite fitness, we were not talking about games athletes. We're talking about forging elite grandparents, parents, elite doctors, elite lawyers, and elite athletes from any walk of life who choose to do those hard things with us. And I think I agree with that, right? There's this, I mean, when I think about this thought of elite and what it really means, and when I read that, the first thing that popped in my head was my members here, and this is going to be 99% of all CrossFit members at CrossFit affiliates, they are significantly fitter than the average Joe. And I mean significantly. Now, I think we get clouded because we get in the gym and we're working out next to other extremely fit people. But I'm telling you right now, my least fit member is 95% fitter than the average person. Like the things that they do, whether that be walking and carrying groceries and all the stuff that you don't even think about, they're better at. And it's really hard to show it or explain it right now, but we all know the one person who thinks they're fit and then tries something and just gets crushed. I can't even begin to explain how much more quote unquote elite people would be if they did CrossFit in life, elite in life, right? They would be better moms, better dads, better spouses, better parents, better grandparents, better at their job, have more energy. I mean, it's crazy. But again, I just wanted to read that because I think it's something to think about. It's just something to chew on. Do you guys listening? Do you guys think forging elite fitness is intimidating? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I think it could be. But in the same token, do we need more people willing to get out of their comfort zone and be willing to try to forge elite fitness? Or do we need to change the word to try to maybe get people that aren't involved as much? I don't know. Might be two different people. Might not be the people we want. Might be. Might not. I don't know. Something to think about. Either way, if you do CrossFit, you'll be an elite person or a lot better than you were. Like I said, I can't begin to explain my least fit, my member who is the worst in our gym. I don't even know who I'm talking about right now. I can't even think of it. But if you're the worst person in my gym, you're still a hell of a lot better than the average population by a mile. So anyway, have a good week. Get after it. It's going to be a fun one here at our gym. So, all right, that's it.